he gonna get caught. He'll pop out on you. He get there too quick.
That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference, almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. Let's say he comes in at 200 pounds. It's still a 65-pound weight advantage, which is absolutely ridiculous. How can you be out there claiming to want to fight the best people on the planet?
Several experienced boxing experts are urging Jake Paul to think twice before stepping into the ring with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Recent training clips show Davis hitting with serious speed and power, and it's raised red flags. The main concern? The big size difference between the two could make the fight not only unsafe but also bad for the sport's image. These analysts believe Paul needs to stop viewing Davis as just another social media fighter and start recognizing him as a real threat, a skilled, explosive boxer with years of experience. Critics point out that Davis isn't just quick and strong. His recent footage shows he's smart in the ring, knows how to set traps, and can seriously hurt anyone who underestimates him. If Paul takes him lightly, it could backfire badly.
Quite surprised because it sounded like Jake Paul and Joshua was getting closer and closer for January. However, there have been rumours of Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul in the past. I think with Gervonta Davis's kind of legal problems in the last month or so and rumours about his retirement, I don't think it's a massive shock that he is taking this Jake Paul fight if it is going to go ahead, purely for the reason that it's a lot of money for maybe not the most difficult job that he's going to have in his career. So it's a strange one, but yeah, it's just another kind of day in the sport, really, isn't it?
Promoter Eddie Hearn has issued a serious warning to Jake Paul about taking on Gervonta Davis. He's not sugarcoating it. Hearn says this fight could have dangerous, even damaging consequences for Paul. "Be careful what you wish for," Hearn said, calling the matchup a clear mismatch. While the fight might bring in huge money and attention, Hearn believes Paul's health is the real concern here. Even though he gives the fight a 50-50th chance on paper, Hearn's message is clear. This isn't just about winning or losing. For Paul, stepping into the ring with Davis could come at a much higher cost than just a loss on his record. His physical safety could be on the line.
I think it's extremely dangerous for Jake Paul. You know, I've got the general feedback is the boxing world saying, please AJ, go in and evaporate this young man from the boxing world so we can all get on as normal. You've got Jake Paul fans thinking bizarrely they can beat Anthony Joshua, and the most bizarre thing out of everything is that Jake Paul genuinely believes he will beat Anthony Joshua. I think that's the only reason we're going to see this fight, but I truly believe you're going to see it at the beginning of 2026.
Daniel Cormier has weighed in on Jake Paul's potential fight with Gervonta Davis, offering a balanced but critical take. He gave Paul credit for how far he's come, saying, "I respect Jake Paul today," and praised his ability to build a brand strong enough to land deals with platforms like Netflix. But Cormier didn't shy away from pointing out the obvious size mismatch. He reminded everyone that Davis is the better boxer, no question, but there's a huge weight gap to consider. Davis fought at around 134 pounds in his last match, while Paul is close to 200. Cormier warned that if Davis somehow beats Paul despite the size difference, it could seriously hurt Paul's rising career. But the risk goes both ways. If Davis loses to someone that much bigger, it could be a major blow to his reputation too.
When the Disruptor Challenge is a legend, guys, anything can happen. When a kid that was on YouTube and on Disney walked in there and said, "I'm going to be a professional boxer," Jake Paul needs to be commended for that. He had a vision, and he honestly executed that vision better than anyone ever could have expected. But sometimes you want something so badly that you don't recognize the dangers that come with wanting that thing and then getting that thing. Now Jake Paul has gotten himself to a point where he's fighting someone that could truly, truly end his career. Mike Tyson. We're talking about one of the scariest, most dangerous fighters to ever step foot in the squared circle. For me, it's pretty simple. Jake Paul in the Mike Perry fight, he got a great appetizer for what he will get in the main event. A fighter that starts very fast, that throws things to take your head off, and you have to kind of match the intensity to ultimately get your shots off.
Jake Paul today announced that he has signed with the PFL.
The PFL.
L.
A couple weeks ago, Jake Paul and I were messaging each other about an appearance on my show, DC and RC. Just kind of talking about his future. And honestly, Jake and I have had some run-ins. When I started talking to him and I'm messaging him, he's a kid that's very respectful. And we had respectful conversations. He has an idea what he wants to do. Now, these kids today are different, right? So he's very boisterous. He's very verbal. He speaks big. But will Jake Paul actually fight in the PFL? A lot of boxers say they're going to fight, but they never actually do. Here's the thing about Jake Paul, though. He's from Ohio. Ohio has some of the best high school wrestling. Jake Paul was a high school wrestler there. So was his brother Logan. They weren't bad. I believe this one, he'll actually fight.
Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch has raised serious concerns about the safety of the proposed Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis exhibition match, pointing out the huge 65-pound weight difference between the two. Paul usually fights around 200 pounds, while Davis competes at 135. Froch acknowledged Davis' skill, but warned that Paul's size and unusual punching power could be dangerous. Davis won't be used to getting hit like that, he said. Froch's comments echo a growing sense of discomfort within the boxing world. Many insiders aren't viewing this as a real fight. They see it as more of a spectacle, with real questions around fairness and fighter safety.
My name was mentioned at his press conference and he shit himself, and the fight was just absolutely fucking diabolical. Again, I've said before, he's not a professional boxer, he never will be, and he proves time and time again that he's not a professional fighter. So, Jake Paul, go on, piss off.
I don't really take Jake Paul that serious. He can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. He swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, he does so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size, it was a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level, and then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like totally different. It's like a different sport.
Just here at Los Naranjos in Viva, España, and I found out that Gervonta Davis is now fighting Jake Paul. So Jake Paul was supposed to be fighting AJ. Eddie Hearn announced 99% done, which we've just spoke about. What next for AJ? Potentially Jake Paul. But it now looks like that Jake Paul is fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs. He's fighting Gervonta Davis, somebody who's a quarter of his size. I don't even know what's going on. Has Eddie Hearn been played? Let me know what you think. But the AJ fight with Jake Paul's finished. Gervonta Davis, fake Paul, November. I don't know what's going on in the world of boxing. This is an absolute joke. What next for AJ? We'll get into this, and there's so many questions I want to get into in the next episode, but I hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, I just thought I'd give you a quick update because the news has just come in and I'm just trying to relax and play a bit of golf, and I can't. I've got to get it off my chest. I'm going to add it to this video. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit like, share and subscribe to the best channel in the business, Froch on Fighting, and we'll see you very soon.
Ryan Garcia didn't hold back when reacting to the possible Paul vs. Davis fight. He called the idea completely insane and questioned whether it should even be taken seriously. Garcia argued that matchups like this are hurting boxing's credibility, making it feel more like scripted entertainment than real competition. Boxing is officially the WWE now, he said, slamming the sport for moving away from its roots. In his view, stunts like this make it harder for fans to respect the sport, and harder for real fighters to be taken seriously.
Today we're going to talk about the boxing world and another fight that Jake Paul just booked for his joke of a career against a 65-plus smaller guy than him in Gervonta Davis. Jake Paul is a circus sideshow for low IQ incels. Nobody should be falling for this carny bullshit about him being a real fighter. Gervonta is a million times better than him, so he has to handicap Gervonta's skill by being a giant lab rat with a 65-plus weight advantage over him. This is a joke. This is a mockery to the sport of fighting. You know, the best are supposed to fight the best. Why is he fighting a guy that's, you know, in his last fight, Mike Tyson, who, you know, he's got a 40-year age gap between them? You know, why are you fighting a guy that should be in line for, you know, the early bird special, not fighting in a boxing ring and Mike Tyson? Now you're fighting a guy who is, you know, tiny. He's a 130-pound fighter. You fight in the 210, 220 weight range. So, you know, this is another joke in Jake Paul's career. You know, he claims to want to be a real fighter, but you know, he's not taking the real steps to be real fighters and fighting, you know, top 10 guys and fighting the best guys in the world. You know, he fights, you know, these circus sideshows against guys that have no business being in there against him. So, you know, I guess this is the state of boxing. It's dead. UFC took over, and you know, this is what you get now. You get this YouTuber who, you know, is on Lizzie McGuire, and he wants to claim to be a real fighter, but he doesn't want to fight real fighters. So, you know, I think it's ironic though. Why would he hire a lawyer to sue people that say that his fights are fixed if they weren't, allegedly? So I don't know. It's kind of weird. You guys do the math. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
Amir Khan has come out strongly against the planned exhibition fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, calling it disgusting and raising serious safety concerns. SS Khan pointed to the massive size gap, Paul weighing around 200 pounds and Davis at 135, plus an 8-inch height difference, as a clear sign the matchup is dangerously one-sided. He said a fight like this likely wouldn't even get professional approval due to the risks involved. Khan warned that allowing these kinds of mismatches could lead to serious injuries and further damage boxing's reputation. He also praised promoter Turki Alalshik for steering clear of what he described as YouTube-style spectacles.
On a guy who's obviously a lot heavier than him, but you know, in an exhibition fight. What are your thoughts on this fight?
A really bad mismatch, and you know what? Whoever the promoter is and that's agreed Gervonta to fight, and whoever the promoter is to fight for Jake Paul to say fight this little man, I mean that's wrong, man. I mean that's just like torturing someone. I mean going in there and hurting someone is just not fair on Davis. But like I say, you don't know what position Davis is in. I heard that he's been having a lot of legal problems and he's been arrested a couple of times for a couple of felonies and stuff I've seen with his ex-wife and stuff. So you know what? You don't know what's going through his head. Maybe he just wants to cash up and walk away from the sport. And maybe this is a great opportunity for him where he's seen this fight come up and he's like, fuck it, I'll take it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they're making boxing a joke, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One day someone's going to end up getting hurt so badly, then it's going to definitely destroy the sport.